Because when pain gets strong, you can't think. You can't reason. When pain gets strong, you can't figure things out. Sometimes we are so engrossed with the pain that we don't get the point. You can have pain so bad it makes your blood pressure go up. You can have pain so bad that you lose your appetite. You can have pain so bad that you stop eating and you stop talking and you stop believing and you stop smiling and you don't have your personality because your pain is stopping you from being who you are.
To find your way in life, it's not an external search. It's an internal search. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. Every last one of you gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's the thing you should pursue. Everything else you're doing has nothing to do with what God created you for. If you haven't figured your life out, if you're thinking there's more to your life than it is, you're not living in your gift. Once you discover your gift, there lies your greatest chance for success. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, and dancing. If you bake pies and cakes better than everybody, then that's your gift. Quit trying to do what somebody else is doing because that ain't your life. You knew the path I took to get here. You would not take. If I'd have knew the path I was going to have to take to get here, I would have changed my destiny a long time ago. That's why God don't reveal it to you. He shows you what it could look like, but he don't show you the route. Because if he showed you the route, you'll turn around. If you knew what you had to go through to get to where he had for you to go, you would all quit. He just let you have the dream. And if you're bold enough to chase the dream, you just can't quit in the middle of the journey because he know you're chasing dreams.
How is it that we walk around blessings that we don't perceive? And what God wants to do is change how you see what's in your house. I didn't download what I needed on my phone to fix my phone. I'll be honest with you. It's not that I'm stupid. It's not that I'm dumb, but it was downloaded in a place where I don't look. I didn't see it. Somebody in this room is praying for something that God already sent you. But because you have not inspected, everything in your life is about to fall apart for the lack of something he already sent, but you do not see. I want to ask you a question tonight that provokes you to search. The strength you need to face tomorrow is in you. The power you need to revolutionize your situation is already there. But when your perception is off, you don't see what you've got left because you are distracted by what you lost.
If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll get a larger vision of yourself. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That you eat and sleep that. You do that. And people know it. If you don't know anything else, you know this. So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to read, to digest information. If you decide to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to read one book a month in that area, you'll be among the top 5% experts in the world. The average American reads only one book a year. I read a minimum of 2 books a week. In this era of accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition, you will always be in control of your destiny.
It may be tough now, but keep the right perspective. Victory is in your future. Healing is in your future. Abundance, breakthroughs, freedom is coming your way. Yes, the giants may be big, but our God is bigger. The virus may be powerful, but our God is all powerful. I'm asking you to be a Joshua, be a Caleb. Think power thought. Think can-do thoughts. Think victory thought. Don't look at how big the problem is. Look at how big your God is. He parted Red Sea. He closed the mouths of lions. He brought the dead back to life. That obstacle is no match for him. He didn't bring you this far to leave. When you believe, all things are possible. Get your thoughts going in the right direction. The scripture says, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of God will raise up a barrier. You're not fighting this battle on your own. You have the most powerful force in the universe fighting for you. He's pushing back forces of darkness, keeping that sickness from taking you out, moving the wrong people out of the way. All through the day, I am well able. I will overcome this obstacle. I will defeat this sickness. I will rise out of lack and struggle. When you think like that, the creator of the universe goes to work. Miracles are set into motion. It's significant that the 10 spies were negative and 2 were positive. It's about the same today. 80% of people will be negative. 20% will be positive. 80% will focus on how big the problem is, live afraid, tell you how you won't get well. If you're going to fulfill your destiny, you have to go against the grain. You can't just fit in and be afraid like everyone else, complain like the other coworker, be negative like that neighbor. God is looking for some Joshua. He's looking for Caleb, people that stand out, people that believe when it seems impossible, people that aren't discouraged by how big the opposition. If this is going to happen, you have to guard your mind because negative news spreads faster than good news. Joshua and Caleb said, we are well able. That news didn't go anywhere. When people heard the giants were too big, that they didn't have a chance, that spread like wildfire throughout the camp. Negative thinking is contagious. All around us, there's negative news. How bad the sickness is, how bad the economy is, analysts telling us what could happen, how it may get much worse. I'm not faulting them. They're doing their job. It's good to be informed, but you can't let that poison stay in your spirit. If you keep dwelling on that, then you're going to end up afraid, worried, panicked, thinking you're not going to make it. When you think like that, it's a negative cycle that keeps drawing in more fear, more worry, more Isaiah 8 says, do not think like everyone else. Don't be afraid that some plan conceived behind closed doors will be the end of you. Do not fear anything except the Lord God Almighty. If you fear Him, you need fear nothing else. He will keep you safe. You don't have to fear the virus, fear what the economy is going to do, fear the future. Just keep honoring God and He will keep you safe. He'll defeat your enemy. He'll do what medicine can't do. He'll turn that child around. This says, don't think like everyone else. Don't think like the 10 spies. When the majority is afraid, worried, negative, you have to be on the offensive and say, no, I'm not falling into that trap. I'm not going to think weak, defeated thoughts. I'm going to think power thoughts. I know my God is still on the throne. I know Him being for me is more than the world being against me. Out of these 2 million people, the only ones that ever made it into the promised land were Joshua and Caleb. It's not a coincidence that they were the only ones that thought power thoughts. You can't reach your destiny thinking negative, limiting thoughts. I was out riding my bike the other day and I had this same path that I traveled down. It takes about an hour. Most of the route is flat, but there's this one very big hill. You have to dig down deep and really push to make it up that hill. I like to exercise. I always get prepared for this hill and enjoy the challenge. But this particular day, I was tired. I'd worked out hard earlier and I'd been traveling a lot, not had much sleep. About 10 minutes into my ride, I started thinking, I don't want to go up that hill. I don't feel like it. I don't have the strength. I don't want to have to push. On and on, I kept dreading it, telling myself how hard it was going to be, wondering if I could make it up. At one point, I received a phone call. I put it on speaker. I started talking as I was riding. We talked and talked. About 20 minutes later, I hung up. I got my mind back on my bike ride. I thought, okay, I don't want to go up that hill. When I looked around, I realized I had already gone up the hill. I rode up it while I was talking, but because I was distracted, not thinking about how hard it was going to be, not convincing myself that I couldn't do it, I made it up the hill with no problem. My legs weren't burning. I wasn't winded. I didn't feel any more tired. I don't even remember going up. I wonder how many times we're telling ourselves what we can't do. I can't stay at home for a month and teach these children. I can't deal with these unfair people at work. I can't handle this challenge in my health. It's going to be too hard. We're dreading things, thinking these weak, defeating thoughts, when the truth is you have already been equipped to handle it. You have strength for all things. When God created you, He put in you everything you need to fulfill your destiny.
You've lost touch with who you are, the core of your being. You're on social media too much. You're listening to what other people are telling you. You got to listen to yourself. You got to cut all that shit out. You have to look at the things that you love and the things that you hate. So what you don't like is very instructive to you, right? You're looking at things that are very powerful inside of you, that are emotional. They're not intellectual. They're feelings. They're emotions. They're visceral things that you connect to. I've always followed the laws of power, which is change things up, enter action with boldness. Don't be afraid to do things differently. Adapt your strategy to the circumstance. It's never too late. The earlier you figure it out, the better off you are. But it can happen later in life. Now, I figured out at an early age that I wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to write, but I loved words and I loved writing. And if I didn't have that connection when I was 8 years old, all the way into high school and college, I would have been a lost soul. And I empathize with a lot of people who don't have that feeling when they're 8 or 18 or in their 20s. But I've tried to tell people everybody has it. You're just not listening to yourself. You've lost touch with who you are. There are 5 forms of intelligence. Normally associate intelligence with intellectuals, with Noam Chomsky, with Albert Einstein. No, intelligence comes in all forms. Working with your hands is a form of intelligence. A carpenter has a high form. People who are sports, who athletically use their body, that's another form of intelligence. There's music, there's math, there's language. You have one of these frames of mind. By the way your brain is wired, you are inclined towards one of them. Figure that out. You got to be a bit bold. You have to embrace what makes you different. It takes time. To do anything in life takes time and hours, patience, and work. So I like to tell kids, go back to their earliest childhood memory. Things that really excited them before they got mixed up. You know, got to cut all that shit out. You know, I was suicidal. Something. I was, and I didn't. It was yes. It would be worse than frustration. Sometimes, too. Just couldn't figure it out when. What's what you're dealing with circumstance. So, just get by. Applaud at 100%, right? That's great. So you want to think about working for yourself is the ultimate position. For entrepreneurs, for creating your own story, creating your own podcast, going your own path in life. You don't have to follow it.
You have to understand that every portion of your life is designed with a purpose in mind. You don't have dreams without test. You understand? And everything you're going through is God preparing you for what you asked for. So when you get tested, it's actually God preparing you for what you asked for. You got to have hardships, setbacks, missteps. See, the only way to learn how to get up, you got to fall. Only way to learn how to get over, you got to be under. The only way to learn how to win, you got to lose. Only way to appreciate the laughter, you got to be crying. You would not appreciate the sunshine if it didn't rain. You would not love the morning sunlight if it never got dark. It is designed that way in life, man. So you need everything that happens to you to happen in the exact order. You don't like it. I didn't like being homeless. I didn't like living in a car. I didn't like getting divorced. I didn't like losing everything twice. I didn't like none of that. But it was preparing me for a life he had for me. So having lost everything twice, I have a much greater appreciation for what God has given me now because I'd have done without it. So see, you appreciate, you learn. You got to have it that way. You don't learn nothing when you're winning. You learn through failure. Failure is the part of the process people don't like, but that's the win. Michael Jordan took over 900 game-winning shots. Michael Jordan ain't made but 147 of them shots. You ain't heard nothing about the misses. They only write about the wins, man. But he learned how to get them 146 by missing 750 times. You see what I'm saying? A baseball player make millions of dollars if he get to the plate and he's successful 3 out of 10 times. 3 out of 10. He just got to get a hit 3 out of 10 times. That's crazy. And you can make millions of dollars because they don't care about them 7 times when you don't get them hits. What they pay you for is their makes. That you can miss. You can miss 7 out of 10. But if you get 3 hits every 10 times you go to the plate, you finna make hundreds of millions of dollars. Ain't that crazy? And that's how life is, man. It's just a few wins. I had a lot of shows. The majority of shows I've had ain't on TV no more. But Family Feud on there, the Judge Show on there. I only need 3 hits. All I need is 3 hits. I got 3 hits. Come on, y'all. The boredom of normalcy and the numbness of mediocrity stiffens your passion. What that meant was I was so sick of myself. I was so bored in my life, man. I was so tired of being mediocre. I was just tired of it, and it was all my fault. I was mediocre because I wasn't doing the things to be exceptional. And I was bored. I was losing my mind, man, on the assembly line at Ford Motor Company, going door to door selling life insurance at a debit company. I was tripping, man. I said, man, what is this? My life can't be this. You know, you ever say to yourself, man, it's got to be more to my life than this? If you've ever said that, that's because it is. I was determined to be something. And my dreams of being a TV personality was bigger than, I was homeless, man. I mean, you're in a position where you're going, I got nowhere to go except up. I don't know how you feel about poverty, but that got on my nerves. And homeless is a whole nother level of poverty. Not having a bathroom, a bedroom, a back door, a TV. I got real strong in that car. I ain't trying to be preachy or nothing, but that pushed me towards my faith. Living in the car taught me that this ain't it. So the things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. That he gonna come get me in a minute. I used to always imagine myself in front of 10,000 people. Man, I'm one of the original kings of comedy, man. You know how many people I done been in front of? I done told jokes in front of 44,000 people before. God is amazing, man. If you come to him, he always hears you. He's always available. He ain't ever too busy. That's the cool thing about it. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift. All of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He put it in you at birth. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. That's the thing you should pursue. Until you follow your dream and connect it to your gift, you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy, man. I just got to tell you, you got to chase that dream before you die, man. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. And if you're unhappy with your life, if you haven't figured your life out, if you're thinking there's more to your life than it is, is because the only reason you have that question is because you're not living in your gift. Once you discover your gift, there lies your greatest chance for success. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination. See, God never reveals the path to you. He shows you what it could look like, but he don't show you the route. Because if he showed you the route, you'll turn around. Everybody would quit. If you knew what you had to go through to get to where he had for you to go, you would all quit. I would quit too. It's no way I would have had a stuttering problem. It's no way I would have lived in a car for 3 years. It's no way if I'd have knew that when I quit my job to do comedy, what was going to happen to me, I would have never quit my job. But he don't show you that. He just lets you have the dream. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction. Once you understand that and quit looking at your imagination as hocus pocus, it opens up a wide range of things and possibilities. And if you're bold enough to chase the dream, he'll get you through the journey. You just can't quit in the middle of the journey because he know you're chasing dreams. God in the make your dream come true business. That's real talk. I kid you not. That's what God gave you, equipped you with to be. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, and dancing. Babysitting is a gift. If you're a smart student, smart is a gift. If people come to your house and they in your kitchen to get their hair done instead of going to a salon, you do hair. That's your gift. If they can't have a bake sale without your pies and cakes, if you bake pies and cakes better than everybody, then that's your gift. You bake pies and cakes. That's your gift. You don't have to think about it. That's what you do. All my brothers, everybody told me, you can't go be no comedian. I left anyway. I won amateur night on October 8th, 1985. I won $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985. Quit my job. Everybody in my neighborhood called me a fool. I send planes, pick all of them up, take them to shows. All of them. All of them. You got to chase that dream before you die, man. Bishop Jake said one time, Bishop Jake said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. We shouldn't let that happen. You got to chase your dream. I'm a miracle. I come from nothing to here. I come from the back to the front, from the bottom to the top. Look, man, I was completely written off. I had nothing, man. I didn't see, I ain't seen a way out some days, man. Man, but can I tell you something? If you can, in spite of all this happening to you, if you can keep the faith, that's all it takes. And it sounds like, well, it don't make no sense. Sometimes that's all you got. You just got to have faith. You got to have the belief in something that you cannot see. And you got to believe that something is going to happen when it don't look like nothing can happen no kind of way. That's all. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot of days when that's all you got. You understand? See, people look at me now and they see this. You ain't see the trip I was on to get here, though. See, you missed all that. Oh, Steve, you say that. You got this, you got that. Uh-uh. No, man, I'm telling you, bottomed out. I'm telling you, nothing. You can have absolutely no idea how you're going to make it. You can have no idea what your next move is going to be. You can have no idea what you're going to be. But let me tell you what can change all of that. If you can just summon the strength or the will in you to make one connection with your creator, if you can have a conversation with God, very simple. Hey, God, I need some help here. I can't figure it out. But I don't know if you notice or not, figuring it out ain't your job. There ain't one scripture in the Bible that asks you to figure nothing out. Ask, believe, receive. Look, man, I know the difficulty of that because I had to really wrap my mind around that. What you mean ask, believe, and receive? You got to ask God who created you why you were made. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. So you need to get to the why. You're already born, but the only person that knows why is the person that made you. Your mama ain't got to know. Daddy don't know. Your creator knows. Ask, then you got to believe that he is who he is. So you got to know who you are and you got to know whose you are. You got to understand that. Then, after that, you got to be open to receive the answer. Quit tripping. Quit tripping trying to figure it out. The how-to is none of your business. Lord, I want to be rich. And then he don't need you telling him how to do it. The how-to ain't your business. All I know is I was sick and tired of living in this car. So I made a promise to him. I said, if you get me out this car and you lift me up, and wherever you taking me, when you take me and you get me there, I'm going to tell everybody it was you. Now, the rest of it was on him. But you can't cut on, I don't care if you cut on a game show of mine, a radio show of mine, a talk show of mine, you going to hear me say something about God. Or else you don't know Steve Harvey. Because I promised him. Now, I didn't know how I was going to get here. And I'm going to tell you something else. I ain't see none of this. I ain't see none of that. I just wanted to be a comedian. And when it was the Kings of Comedy, I thought I had achieved the ultimate. I was one of the top comedians in the world. The Kings of Comedy was the biggest thing ever. I thought I had topped out. Oh, my God. Little did I know what he had in store for me. You think the Kings of Comedy was big. You ought to see how I'm living now. He took me, man. It's not much really changed, man. I mean, I did the show from the very beginning the same way. I just got more viewers. It's the #1 game show in the world. So that right there is another example of favor. You know what I mean? Look, I mean, I come to work every day. I do the show, but I don't have to have the biggest game show in the world. I don't have to. Why? Why? Because he gave it to me. That's favor. You can set, I'm gonna tell you, see, people don't get it, man. You can put on your vision board, you want to be famous all you want. I want to be a star. You can't make yourself a star. You can't make yourself famous. It ain't you, partner. That's a decision God makes. And he gives it to you, but he gives it to you because of people. I'm who I am because y'all tune in and make me who I am. If y'all stop tuning in, this ain't the same dude no more. You get what I'm saying? And so what makes y'all tune in? That God gave me favor. Y'all didn't know me till I showed up on TV somewhere. You know, that's favor, man. You got to understand. A lot of people, they don't get that part of it. You know, they always struggling to find the answer for it so they can have some little smart answer for the reporters. I don't. I've talked to reporters all the time. I say it's grace and favor. What do you mean by that? Okay, so you don't go to church. Okay, I got it. Grace is God's unmerited favor. That means he gives you something that you don't deserve. Grace is given to you and you can't earn it. You can't purchase it. If I could buy grace, I could take all the money I got and just purchase grace with it. It is God's unmerited favor. You can't even, there's nothing you can do to get it. He just do a solid for you. But see, you get solids because you ask for solids. You have not because you ask not. The majority of people don't have what they want in this world because you don't never ask God for it. You tripping, man, because you think it's about you. You think it's you. Oh, no. It's not. You got to ask God for stuff. He created you. You got to ask him, your maker, for things in this world. You keep trying to figure out why you ain't got it because you ain't asked God for it. Keep trying to figure it out yourself, how that's working for you. Huh? Better get to asking. You better get to asking. Just why would you not? All you got to do is ask God. That's what I do. Everything I got, I ask God. I show you my vision board. It's everything I'm asking God for. The how-to is none of your business. Nowhere in the Bible does it tell you to figure out how to. It say ask, believe, receive. That's the trick. It ain't nothing else. I ask, I believe, I get ready to receive. Faith without works is dead. I'm going to put in the work. So that's the trick, man. Stop tricking yourself out and ask for favor. It's really that simple. It's not, don't make this more difficult than it is. Listen to me. I'm telling you this how I don't have no education. I don't have nothing. I have faith. That's all you need. Faith. Come on, let's go. Follow your dreams. You got a diploma. Diplomas are pieces of paper that sit on walls. After you get a diploma, real life starts. You got to chase your dreams, man. I don't really give a what your paper says. If it ain't what you're dreaming of doing, plus that paper's kind of deceptive anyway. You know, I always thought it was messed up that you ask a kid at 18-year-old to declare what he wants to be for the rest of his life. Then he gets a major and he works his ass off for 4 years and he gets a degree and he didn't even know who he was when he answered that question. Most people I know don't even work in their degree because they discover something else. My partner was a lawyer, man. He went to school for law school and everything. He passed the bar before he graduated law school. That's how brilliant he was. He an agent now. He ain't even want to be the law no more. He an agent. He just decided to do something else. So I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's going to disappoint you. You're going to forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're going to forever be miserable, man. Bishop Jakes was talking one day on a podcast. I heard him talking. He said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. That's a sad thing, man. That people like, they never chase because you got jobs and stuff and you listening to other people. I would, man, if I hadn't chased my dream, I wouldn't be here. If I listened to my mother and father, I'd have been a construction worker, just like my brothers. Boy, this the work we do. We Harveys. I was out there on that bridge with that tar mop in my hand, swabbing that tar on them cracks on the freeway. I was thinking the whole time, I got to get out of here. This is not what I'm dreaming of. I was never dreaming of that. I had a dream, man, I was a little kid, I wanted to be on TV. Some crazy shit in the 60s to sit up and say you want to be on TV. It was unheard of, man. But it's all I had. So, you know, I would chase that dream, not that diploma. You got the diploma. It signifies that you have the ability to complete a task very well. And there's some, you know, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, you got to get a degree. Come on now. But what if you made that decision when you was 18, you want to be something else? You know, you want to go be a writer, go be a writer. I mean, you know, I could tell you, it's a sad way to make a living at something you don't enjoy doing. You're going to do that till you're 65, then you're going to retire, then they're going to give you a third of what you can't live on anyway. That's the plan. They'll give you a gold watch, a turkey, and 1/3 of what you're having a hard time living on now. Nah. I would go chase that dream, see what God got for me. Probably better than what you had in mind anyway. Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked God for. You just got to quit tripping while you're in the process, because the process is necessary. You may not see it now, but when he gets you on the other side of it, you're going to see exactly why it went that way. And you're going to be okay with it. See, the problem that people do is you get in God's way. See, you tell God what you want, then you mess up and tell him how you want him to do it. The problem is you can't tell God how to bless you. All you got to do is write down what you want. God will give you everything you write down. I'm telling you, it used to be a lot of stuff on here I had to take off. You don't see no cars on here because they all in the garage. That God I serve that done this for me, he'll do the same thing for you. Your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination. Bible says a man is as he thinketh. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction. Once you understand that and quit looking at your imagination as hocus pocus, it opens up a wide range of things and possibilities. When you have these ideas of greatness, you got to go forward, because it's not going to be a right time. Just go. Listen to me. This is serious what I'm telling you. Don't you think it's nothing else. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. That simply means everything that's in your imagination is a preview of a coming attraction that God has for you. That's why he puts it in your imagination. And so all these things you've been imagining has been God planting seeds in your head of what he has for you. That's why when you're driving down the street and you see the car in the window, you imagine yourself driving that one instead of the one you got, because that's the car God will give you. God is in your imagination. He ain't in your paycheck. He ain't in your current set of situations. God is in your imagination. That's why when you tell your imagination to the wrong people, it don't go nowhere. You ever had something you thought was a brilliant idea and you took it in there to your family and your loved ones and they shot it down? You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. You know why they couldn't see it? Because God didn't show it to them. He showed it to you. I walked in that house, man, and told everybody I was quitting my job to go be a comedian. Everybody in that house shot that down. My ex-wife shot it down. Her mother-in-law shot it down. My mama shot it down. All my friends shot it down. My brothers and sisters shot it down. Don't you quit your job, go be no comedian. You can't make no money telling no jokes like that. It's 1985. Who you think you are? If I had listened to them, I wouldn't even be here today. I imagine at 10, I would be on TV. Now, I didn't get there till I was 38, but I got there. Do you know all the stuff you've imagined was really God just showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you? I won amateur night on October 8th, 1985. I won $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985. Quit my job. Everybody in my neighborhood called me a fool. I send planes, pick all of them up, take them to shows. And all of them. All of them. Never wait on the right time, because the right time ain't ever coming. All that, I'm going to get my ducks lined up in the row? No, you won't. No, you won't. Because as you have aspirations, you got to understand that the devil understands your aspirations too. The devil's job is to rob you of your destiny. So there will always be an obstacle. So if you're waiting on the right time, you'll never make the move. You have to go. What makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. Successful people have developed the thought process. You all have it. You just got to learn the principles of success. All y'all. All of you gifted. All of you have a gift. God made you with a gift that brought all of you are gifted people. I kept telling them jokes. My father was the only one who believed in me. My mother, my brothers, sisters, all my friends, man, Get out of that, man. You ain't making no money. You can't tell no jokes. I just kept on. I just kept on. And I'd have made a lot of money, man. I'd have made a lot of money. But I took a chance when it didn't line up. But you can't wait till it line up. You got to jump. If you ever planning on soaring, you're going to have to jump. I did an interview, and this man asked me, he said, Mr. Harvey, the past year and a half has been the toughest year of our lives as human beings. So this had to be the toughest year of your life. I said, sir, this ain't even been in the top 10 toughest years of my life. I don't know what. We had a pandemic and COVID, but I've had some years that, man, make this look like a cakewalk. I lost my mama 23 years ago. That was the biggest hammer I ever had in my life. I'd rather had COVID than lose my mama. So, but sir, I'm talking about a global pandemic. Hey, once again, you asked me the question. Oh, now if you want to put the answer in the interview, go ahead and put the answer down. But I'm just telling you what happened to me. You know, he just wanted me to say it was the worst time. It was tough. And if you lost a loved one, I would imagine this was probably the toughest year for you. I didn't lose a loved one. So I can relate to my father, my big brother, my mama, my two best friends. I had some rough years. And that's all it was. But you know, the blessing is we still here. I had a lot of good stuff happen during the COVID myself. But you know, and you had some good stuff that happened too. You just got to look for it. Behind every moment of adversity, there's a lesson and a blessing. Yeah, we all learned something during the pandemic, but wasn't it a blessing somewhere in there? You know, some people, I lost my job. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you realize sometimes when a door closes, God is sending you up the hallway to go through another door? You be tripping, man. That ain't your job. They closed my plant. That's because it wasn't yours. It wasn't your plant. It ain't your job no more. How can they take something from you that's yours? Your job gone. God got something else for you. But if you lay in the misery of it, if you lay in the moment of adversity, you never receive the lesson or the blessing. You got to get up out the adversity, man. You got to look for the upside. There's an upside to everything. This is life, man. Do you know that we're going to experience life till the day we die? We're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have ebb and flows. Some going to go good. Some going to go really bad. That's life. Ain't nobody immune to that. I don't care how much money you got, how famous you are. I don't care what color you are. This is called life. It's going to keep coming. You just got to get better at handling it. You know, that's my suggestion to everybody. Quit crying about what didn't happen to you. You got to start taking inventory on what actually happened. How about you live? How about you still here? How about you on Family Feud this week? How about you been laughing your ass off all day? How about that? Man, start looking at the upside. I went outside, it started raining. Man, it's raining again. Hey, you here for the rain. You ever been to prison? It rain, you don't get to go outside. There's some people want to go stand in the rain. Then you get rain, now you mad because it's raining. But if you don't get the rain, we ain't going to have these flowers. You got to get something. Everything God send down from heaven, it has a return. When he send rain, here come flowers. When he send sunlight, here come vitamin D. Here come all. You can say, well, everything he send down, he gets something back. Quit tripping. Man, stop complaining. Let's go. Stop complaining. Let's go. Stop complaining. It used to bother me. You know, when social media first came out, because I was famous before phone cameras came out. I was famous before there was social media. When social media came about, the price for fame elevated. It's a really high price now. They used to have to do fact check stories about you. Stories came out in the newspaper, had to be fact checked. Internet came out, they just take your picture, print anything they want. Ain't no fact checking, nothing. It used to bug me, and then I figured it out. Who are haters? Haters are not shakers and movers. They're not power brokers, and they're not decision makers. The only way a hater has power over you is if you give it to them. That's the only way. Martin Luther King said once, a man can't ride your back unless you bend over. I don't bend over. So when you're talking about me, I have a question for you. Number one, do you know me? Have you ever met me? And do you have my cell number? Those are the only people who can say anything about me. If you know me, you met me, or you have my cell number. If that, you don't even know me. Do you know the stuff people say about me, man? They say some crazy about me. He a Uncle Tom, he a sellout. A sellout? Do you know what I've done in my lifetime? Do you know what I do for my own culture? What I do for children that are not mine. But I'm not gonna go on the internet and toot my horn to these people. I just let them say what they're gonna say. So, and when they get through hating, when all that hating get turned in, turn on your TV set. All that you talking, I'm still here. And let me show you something. Do you know, as long as you just honor God, do you know it don't matter what they say? He will prepare a table in the presence of your enemies. They're going to all see it. Trust me. That's why you don't have to do nothing. You ain't got to write back. You ain't got to get online, say nothing back. You ain't got to go in their DMs. You ain't got to do none of that. God will fix it where they see. He going to make sure they see the blessings he got for you. They're not going to miss it. They're not going to miss it. And the only reason they talking about you is because you winning. Don't nobody talk about losers. They only talk about winners, man. If you out there winning, they're going to start talking about it. If you don't want nobody talking about you, don't do nothing. Don't try to be nothing. Don't climb the ladder. Don't get a promotion. Don't get no job. Don't stop hanging out with them. Don't try to better yourself. Don't do nothing. They won't say nothing. The moment you make the decision that you're going to do better, be better, here they come. Here they come. Every time. But let them come, though. Let them come. You have to know that God got you some kind of way. Now, the jumping requires faith. Now, what is faith? Faith is a belief in things that you cannot see. If you can see everything, that ain't faith. You got to believe in something you can't see. Look, man, when I started in comedy, I did not see this. I didn't see becoming the first African American to host a beauty pageant of any kind. I was the first black headliner to start black radio nights around the country. I done had a machete in my hand on a lot of stuff. I didn't see any of them. But I had this little piece of faith, though, that if I jumped, he would get me. Because I was miserable in my life. I didn't like waking up. I ain't have no purpose. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. But on October 8th, 1985, I walked in a comedy club for the first time, signed up for the following week. The following week, a girl took me down there. She said, you got to go to comedy club. You're the funniest person I've ever met. I never even heard of comedy clubs. I'm 27. I walked in the comedy club. I signed up for the following week. I'm going to sit here and learn. I knew I was funny. I just didn't know what to do with it. They had 10 acts go up. 9 of them went up. I didn't laugh at one joke. I was just sitting there man, I wish that was me. Man, they should have said this. Every joke they told, I knew the punchline before they said it, and I wrote a better punchline in my mind, what they should have said. It got to guy number 10, they called his name, he wasn't there. They said, well, he's not here. We're going to go to next week's list. Steve Harvey, where are you? I looked at the girl I was sitting next to. I said, it's a dude in here got the same name I got. She said, you know what? You a stupid son of a... That's you. So they kept clapping, and I ran up. Long story short, I won amateur night that night. I won $50. It was a 45-minute drive to my house with this girl named Gladys. I cried 45 minutes. She said, "What you crying for? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't even understand. I was born tonight. I now know what I'm supposed to do. I went to work the next day, October 9th, and quit my job. With $50, I had nothing. I just never gave up. I just kept believing that he was going to put that air up under them sails for me one day. And finally, he put that air up under that wind up under them sails. This ain't your life right here. This life you got right now, this ain't just it. You think this it? God ain't through with you. If God was through with you, he wouldn't wake you up no more. But God keep waking you up because he got some more for you. This ain't your life. God got some more for you. The moment God ain't got nothing else for you, you ain't gonna wake up no more. You lived your last day the day he got nothing. Once you done served your purpose and ran your route, you out. But as long as he wake you up, it's because he ain't finished with you yet. I wake up every day with the expectation that he finna do something great for me. I expect him to do something great for me every day. If God can pick me up and dust me off, I bet you he can do the same thing for you. But he can't do it if you don't come to it. You got to ask him for help. God wants a relationship with you. He don't want you to call him every 6 months. He want to hear from you, man. He just want to say, "Hey, man, God, I appreciate you today. Thank you for waking me up this morning." And the cool thing about God is you ain't got to clear it with nobody. You don't need an appointment. You ain't got to see if he available. He open 24/7. He here all the time. I'm telling you, man. Look at me. You got to have God. I'm telling you real. You try this without God, you tripping. You tripping. You do this without God, you tripping. You need God, man. Life is hard. See, for every time you have a plan, a dream, an aspiration, or a goal, do you know what happens every time you have one of those? This thing comes along called life. It happens to everybody. Life has disappointments. It's got peaks and valleys. You're going to lose somebody you care about one day. That's a valley. Somebody going to close the plant you thought was going to stay open so you could retire. That's a valley. Somebody going to fire you for an unjust cause. That's a valley. The people that got your credit card going to sell their company, going to sell their business to another credit card company. Your 18% go up to 26%. You don't even know why now your minimum didn't change because it's life. Prayer and a relationship with God gives you the tools and the weapons to handle life. You can stop thinking that life finna be easy because I got news for you, it ain't. That's a false hope to think you're going to have a wonderfully carefree life. That's unthinkable. I made a t-shirt that said, "Faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible." You just need some faith, man. You got to call on God, and when it look like he ain't coming, you got to keep calling on him. See, the moment you call, let me teach you this one lesson. I'm going to let you go, I promise you. This is short. The way it works is when you ask God for something, he boxes it up and he delivers it to you immediately. He ships whatever you're asking for. If you believe it, he boxes it up and he ships it immediately. The problem with the package, he never tells you the date that the package is going to arrive. If you send it to me in 2020, I'm going to be here for it. If it ain't coming to 2025, but you know what? He got some pretty good boxes. And I want every box that's got my name on. Renew your faith. Keep praying. God is always coming. Your package has already been shipped. Thank y'all very much. If when the alarm clock goes off in the morning and you ain't happy about it, you ain't doing what you want to do. See, you fighting upstream. You're going against what God created you for. If your job makes you sick to go to, if you're unhappy with waking up to go to where you got to go, it's because you ain't living in your gift. You should, before you die, you should do what God created you to do. You really should, man. Now, that don't necessarily mean you got to quit your job. Some people are born to be teachers, caregivers, nurses, babysitters. Those are gifts, you know what I mean? If you're living in your gift, you cool. It's just if you ain't. Telling jokes was a gift. They're just not just running, jumping. If you paint, you should be painting. If babysitting is what you really do, you should be babysitting. You doing anything. If you fix cars, you work with your hands, you're supposed to be working with your hands. You do anything else, when that alarm clock go off in the morning, you ain't gonna like it. Now, if you waking up and you going down there, they ain't paying you what you want, you hate your coworkers, you down there, your boss has no business being your damn boss. See, that's what messed me up. I never had a boss that I thought should have been in charge of me. That's what was wrong with my ignorant ass. I didn't know what I had was a gift when I was growing up. I just stayed in trouble because I just fired it off. My gift is I could take anything, any piece of information, and transpose it into comedy immediately. I don't have to think. It just comes to me instantly. It's a gift. It's crazy. And when I was young, I didn't know how to control it. I just stayed in trouble. I stayed in the principal's office. I stayed in the pastor's office. I said, everybody had office. I was down there. Because my ass, I couldn't. My mama took me, my mama was Sunday school teacher. My mama had me come to prayer service. She had a pastor lay hands on me. You need to heal my son. He can't shut his mouth. That boy just fired off. They thought something was wrong with me. All my teachers, the whole time I was in school, I had this teacher. She was so hateful to me. And finally she told me, she said, little Stevie, you sit down back there acting a fool. You ain't gonna ever make no money acting a fool. Ta-da! She didn't know. She didn't know. It's so crazy, man. I just never thought that anybody should be in charge of me. I always saw myself free. I just want to come to work. This is all I want to do. Before Bishop Jake said this, he said, before you die, he said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. You should look into that before you mess around and check out of here. You should just look into it. I don't know nobody that's not trying to be happy or successful. If you're not trying to be those two things, something's seriously wrong. And you got to go get yourself some help. And it's sort of, I was watching this guy, Darius, that's out here with this, I can't even call it disability. I'm looking at a kid that has no legs, no full functioning arms or hands. And I watched him watch YouTube, teach himself how to play a piano, get invited to Carnegie Hall. And I was just thinking, man, I don't know how this affects you, but I trip on stuff like that. Because I sit up and I always look at myself. And, you know, I've done a lot of jumping in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. But this kid really inspired me today because, I mean, if you look at somebody like that and he says he wants to be an inspiration, I mean, for us to create an excuse for anything, it's unacceptable. It's really, really unacceptable. You can't. Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? You know, Tone Bell was out here. He said at one point in time, you got to take a chance on you. But see, let me help you understand something, in case you ain't thought about that. When you take a chance on you, I want you to remember something, that all of us were created in God's image. So when you take a chance on you, you're taking a chance on God. It's because God is in all of us. You know, I mean, look, man, you might not talk to him as much as you ought to. We might not acknowledge him in every way we should, but he's in all of us. The good that you see in you, that's God. That's God. When you care about somebody, that's God. When you feel sympathy for somebody, that's God. When you help somebody, that's God. Everybody in here got a piece of God in them. Everybody. So when you take a chance on you, you actually taking a shot on you and God. Because here's the deal. God, when he created all of you, all of us, he gave you a gift at birth. At birth, he gave it to you. The cool thing about God is he didn't hide it from you. He didn't put it on a mountain. He didn't put it under the water. He didn't hid it under no rock. He put it in you at birth. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you are gifted at something. The problem is you keep wanting your gift to be what somebody else's gift is. That's a problem. If you ain't really an actor, why you acting? If you really can only sing at the church, why you out here trying to be a singer? If you really don't really produce music, why you out here trying to, you really not a rapper. You steady rapping. Ain't you 34? Ain't nobody found you yet. You feel me? All of you have a gift. You just got to quit wanting your gift to be somebody else's gift. Identify your own gift because you already have it. Here's the way you identify your gift. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That is your God-given gift. That's it. When I had hair, the dude that gave me my first haircut in Texas, you know how much he charged me for my haircut? $10. Do you know when he came out on the road with me on the Kings of Comedy and did the Steve Harvey show, do you know how much he was making per haircut? $1,500 a haircut. You know how many haircuts I got a week? 4 haircuts a week. This dude made $6,000 a week cutting hair. You know what he do? He cut hair. When I went bald, he damn near killed himself. But you know what he did? He went back to what he do. Now guess what he got? He got 4 salons in Texas and 2 barber colleges. You know what he make? $6 million a year. You know what he do? He cut hair. That's all he do. Listen to me. Y'all got a gift that God gave to you at birth. If I was you, I would do that gift for you mess around and leave this world because your gift will make room for you. You'll be the happiest you've ever been and you'll make the most money you ever made. I dare you to try it. That's a promise God made. Thank y'all. Listen to me. Talk to God often. Even if you're not perfect, just talk to him every day. You don't have to be in the same faith I'm in, or you ain't got to call God the same thing I call it. But listen to me, you do have to call him, though. It's not going to make your life easy. I made a t-shirt one time that said, faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible. All you want is the strength to get through your life. You know, I've been going through a lot lately. Somebody sent me a plaque. You know what it said? It said, on the days that I feel like I'm not going to make it, on the days that it feels like I can't endure anymore, I think back on my track record for surviving all my bad days. And so far, surviving all my bad days, my track record is 100%. That's pretty good. Now, I have some tough moments. This lady's right about something. It ain't about the money. I know a lot of very, very rich people that's miserable, not happy at all. I can bet you most of you are happier than most of the people I know. And I know some very, very wealthy people. And money don't make you happy. It helps you through a lot of situations. You know the only thing about money? Money takes all emergencies and turns them into mere inconveniences. That's what money does. Really, other than that, it's a lot to come with money. But if that's your desire to get more of it, you got to ask God for it. If you want to be happy or successful, you got to ask God for it. Most people don't have the life of their dreams because you don't ask God for it. The scripture says you have not because you ask not. It's a very simple scripture, but listen to me. If you up your ask, he will up his give. If you change what you ask God for, he immediately changes what he gives to you. It's a scripture that's available for everybody. It's not just for rich people. Do you know if you had to have an education to be successful, you know how many people wouldn't be successful? Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, two of the richest men in America, ain't neither one of them got a degree of any kind, but they have more degrees working for them than a thermometer. You don't need an education to be successful. I flunked out of school. What God has for you, quit tying it in education. People kill me. I know people got 2 degrees finna go back to school, get another one. If you got 2 of them that ain't working for you, why would you go get another one of them? That's crazy to me. I know people that's mastered and PhD'd up, ain't even working. You don't need that. I'm telling you, man, your whole success is tied in your relationship to God. You can simplify this by getting in touch with your creator. That's your key, man. Quit tripping yourself out. Hey, y'all, don't forget to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray. And don't ever be too proud to pray, because prayer changes things. Thank y'all for coming, everybody.